I loved this property so much, and I was just like, please let me give you money for it. Like, I called my agent and I asked her to put in an offer. I was willing to pay full price, and it was like they had this little property and they're like, nope, 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 not for, I don't want the money that you want to give me for this. That's not how I want to do things. And I feel duped. I feel duped because, you know, I found this, it was on Zillow. And then they were like, you know, I mean, it's your property, you can do what you want with it, but this is gonna be the one that got away, y'all. The one that got away. I'm gonna be thinking about this for years. Budget Girl here, and I am at another potential property that I might want to buy. So this really cool looking thing is a 2-bed, 1-bath little home for sale for $100,000 in Bryan, Texas. And I actually think it might be the perfect short-term rental or like Airbnb or Vrbo listing. It's a market I'd really like to get into. And what's really cool about this property is that it's got kind of a side yard that could potentially be used to put a tiny house or like an Airstream or something on it. Short-term rental village. And I called the owner and they told me how to get in. So let's go. I was thinking that it would probably be kind of hard to get a tiny house back here, but we actually looked at this completely empty shed and there's some space behind it too. So potentially if we could get rid of this, there would be even more space. I think this is darling, and I love that there's like a little gate. I could potentially have like a little combo lounge area with like hammocks or a little grill or little picnic tables and stuff. It's so cute. There's this nice big patio area out here too, which is just lovely. And I love how shaded it is. Look how cute this neighborhood is. I am more excited about this than I was after doing the Zillow, which was the opposite when we looked at the A-frame. What do you think?
It's not bad.
Yeah. Here's another view of the backyard. I think it's plenty big enough to put an Airstream or a tiny house and do like some really nice backyardy stuff, especially if we move that. Come on in. Okay, so what's interesting about this house is that listed on Zillow for a while back, and I think it was for sale as a combo sale with a property on either side of it, and I wasn't that interested in it then. But by itself, I think it could be a really cool, unique stay. And it looks mostly renovated. So the kitchen's really cute, and this is kind of a weird little area, but maybe a little mini dinette or like a little booth to eat could be cute. And I mean, the kitchen's been nicely renovated. It's a little dark in here, so I'd probably change some of the light fixtures, but overall, really nice so far. The living room is small, but for a short-term rental, what do you really need? We are in the vicinity of downtown Bryan and also Texas A&M. So for a short-term stay, this could be really, really cute. First bedroom, very petite. I hate it when Airbnbs do this, but I think you'd have to do like the against the wall thing. So you could fit a queen in here, but somebody'd have to like climb up off the end. Little closet, which there's a closet there. I don't know if that's necessary. Maybe that could be busted out and the room could be a little bigger. A little desk right here would be darling. TV up top. And look, a very nice view of the backyard. So cute. Central, which is good because I think this house is from elder days. Spot for a washer dryer. I think this is the back door. All right, second bedroom. This is cute. There's plenty of room for like a queen or maybe even a king in here. You don't need much else. And then one bath. This is not bad at all. This renovation was done really nicely. Tub's a little yellow, but I know how to fix that. There would not be much to do other than like decorate this and upgrade a few things. Is this sink low to you?
A little bit, yeah.
That's okay.
Might be because it's older.
This is really cute. And then there's a spot for a washer dryer right here. Storage. Let's go to the backyard. Okay, so this is a little side yard area. Could even make it so if I had like an Airbnb over there, that would be their yard, and this would be like the yard for this unit, and this could be the main door, and another little spot for like a little patio area or something. So cute.
Maybe like a barbecue pit,
Yeah.
some chairs or something.
This is also a really nice historic Bryan neighborhood that's close to a really nice park, and there aren't really a ton of things that are red flags in it. We actually did look at one other house on this street that was way set back and a little weird, but in this area I think it seems quiet and nice. What do you think, Jacob?
It's not bad.
I also looked up and there's an Airbnb up the road from this that does really well and is excellent. My friend Whitney turned me on to a website called AirBNB, and you can go in and calculate, or it can estimate how much you would be able to charge per night for an area, average occupancy rate, and how much you could make for the year. And this did very well when I plugged this into that. I do have to admit, I really don't like the carpet. The listing said new carpet, and this is that like 89 cents a square foot stuff that you get at Home Depot, but it's not bad. It's clean. And this wouldn't be great for short or tall people. I'm curious as to what they paneled this with, because everything's paneled. This bar is great. How would you want to lay out the living room in here? Because you do have to think of that. You don't want to cover these giant windows, but you pretty much need to be able to put like a TV in front of the couch. So the couch would either have to go like here with the TV over there, or like here with the TV over there. It's a little curious. I love this bar. This bar is huge. You wouldn't even have to necessarily do a dining table. You could just do like 4 bar stools.
Might just mount the TV right above the bar.
No, make it like a sports bar. No, it's very cute. I'm definitely going to look into the permitting for this area, the zoning, and see if I could put an accessory dwelling unit on it, either like permanently or on wheels. And I'm gonna look more into this. I would love to know what you think below, and if you're enjoying me and my real estate investing adventures, go ahead and like and subscribe. Tell me what you think of the place. I will see you next time. Bye. So I leave this place. I love it. I have some questions, but I love it. The Zillow listing didn't say how old it was, and due to like the weird long shape, I was thinking it might even be like a shipping container or something. Some of you guys who are more familiar with trailers than I am, Sarah, why didn't you immediately recognize that as a trailer? There are vents in the floor. I knew there was something funky with the ceilings, but honestly, like if you're actually gonna completely cover the thing in wood and make it cute, like okay. I actually called my real estate agent, the one who sold me my duplex, and I was like, hey, I really love this place. Let's put in an offer tomorrow. I do have some questions, and they involved how old it was, what like type, what's the history of the property, because I knew it was weird, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't realize that it was a trailer, and some other things. So she comes back to me the next day, and she got a text from the owners, or the agent for the owners, and said it's a reskinned, remodeled mobile home. And I also asked, could I put another thing on the property, like a little tiny house, a little Airstream, something like that, because it's set up just perfectly for it. And she said as long as you built it within the setbacks and out of the easements, you should be okay. I tried looking on the Bryan city site, and it's a little bit of a mess. And she said, oh, and I also asked why the previous buyers backed out, because it went up for sale and then went back on the market the next month. You could see it in the Zillow history. So she said the buyers backed out on closing day and they didn't have all their down payment. And then she said there is a 5-year prepayment penalty on the deal, 10 to 30-year amortization, 9 to 10% interest. They have turned down cash and bank loans to be able to seller finance it. Okay, so this took me a second to unpack. So they didn't want money for the house. They want to be a bank for the house. And this is actually a somewhat common thing that I learned about, especially for mobile homes. And this is a mobile home underneath all of that wood. Some people purchase mobile homes and then they will sell them as a rent to own to people, specifically people who don't have good credit or can't qualify for a bank loan for some other reason, and they'll charge them a little bit higher interest rate, and then if they default, of course, you get the trailer back and you've made a profit. I consider it a fairly predatory way to do business. However, I'm not doing that, and I have no interest in doing that, but everybody do you. Here are my problems. This person has turned down cash and has turned down bank loans for this property. So he does not want the 100K. Once I found out that it was a trailer, I was like, I don't know if it's worth quite that much anymore, but the property itself, maybe that would be worth $100,000, especially being a really good location for an Airbnb. And I was still considering it. Why would I spend $100,000 on a mobile home, Sarah? But I loved this property that much. And honestly, it just with the whole reskinning, I think they completely changed it. I didn't realize it was a mobile home at first. And just the property and the location and the ability to put two things on a lot and have a little tiny house or little Airbnb village where I could even like rent out both to like groups and stuff. I was ready. I made a whole Canva board of how I was decorate this. Which would not be like the floral nightmare that you see here and is my core personality, and would not be like my home decor, which you guys have seen, which is very like jewel tone kind of glam. It would be like a Southwestern chic theme. Like I even have a couple of things that I've picked up for a future Airbnb that I could not pass up at like garage sales. I get that I'm an insane person, but that's how much I love this place. I was ready. I'm not, however, ready to pay over $350,000 for a $100,000 property. And that is how much it would cost if I sell or finance and did this deal. He didn't want cash and he didn't want a bank loan. Now, if you own a place, you can sell it however you want, but you list it on Zillow for $100,000 and somebody tries to give you that money and you're like, no, I only want to sell or finance. And he says 10 to 15K down, which I have, that would be fine. But then 9 to 10% interest, that's bananas. That's loan shark territory, people. And then he says prepayment penalty. So if you try to pay it off early, you're gonna have to pay, I don't know what a 5-year prepayment penalty is, but I don't know if that means you get the penalty if you pay it off like 5 years worth of, I honestly don't know, but some sort of penalty if you pay it off. So he wants this continuing stream of income, which would be about, $800 to $1,000 a month. So much of that being interest for 10 to 30 years. That's at 10% interest. That is a horrible, horrible deal. And I sincerely wish that I could just purchase it. This is gonna be the property that like got away, but you can't make someone sell something at a reasonable rate if they wanna like do something funky with it. I think that this person wants the stream of passive income from essentially being a bank for this property, and also to potentially like get the property back if someone were to default. It's essentially a rent to own scenario if you really scroll back on it. So I can't buy this house slash trailer slash property, and I hate it. I'd even like looked over every single Airbnb that is in the Bryan College Station area. And here's the thing, there's such a good market here for such a cute, I think I could make it cute. I could. I've stayed in really cute Airbnbs before, and I've stayed in just Airbnbs with like leftover furniture from the people's houses and garage sales and stuff. And yeah, like sometimes that does the job, but why would you not pick the cute one? And in our area, there are not many cute ones. Most of the places that you can rent an Airbnb around here are just kind of like a mishmash of furniture styles and not a lot of decor. Like it's not a curated design. And this is gonna sound a little hubrisy, but I feel like I could actually create a curated design that would be really nice to stay in and people would wanna book. So I feel like I could do well in this market. And I feel like this would have been a really nice place to do so. However, not for $350,000. That's such a bad deal. It's such a bad deal. Watch out for this kind of thing. I didn't even know this happened, to tell you the truth. Every other home I've seen on Zillow, the people have just been motivated to sell the home. They don't necessarily care if it's like a bank loan or cash or whatever. They just want to get the most money. This is the first time I've run into someone who is like, no, I'm only gonna sell or finance this, and I'm gonna do it at an insane loan shark rate. Frustrating, so frustrating. So tell me what you think of this little trailer cabin situation. I was ready. Like I was bouncing around names in my head and I knew which walls I would take out and exactly what I would do. So I definitely let my heart get into this one a little bit, more so than any other property I've looked at. And I need to kind of watch that because I loved it too much. And now I'm a little devastated that I can't buy it. I didn't go into it thinking that if I wanted it, I wouldn't be able to buy it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you would like to see other real estate adventures of mine. I have 2 other videos of me looking at a quadplex and also an A-frame as potential real estate investments. I also have my full duplex diary series of me fixing up my very first home purchase, which was a $230,000 duplex here in College Station, Texas. And season 2 of that is coming out. The first video should have already been up. Secret questions of this video. Did you immediately recognize this as a mobile home? Would you consider purchasing this property? Have you ever run into a situation where somebody was like, not really selling a house, like, or only selling a house under like these weird set of circumstances that would not be to your benefit? Because I immediately feel for anyone who like fell in love with the house and then the owner was like, I don't want to take your money unless you want to give me 4 times the amount of money for the next 10 to 30 years.